Here with Queen Bee herself, Brittnee. Did you know you were so loved by Canada?
I had absolutely no idea I was this loved by Canada. I feel so blessed and grateful right now. I'm freaking out.
It's funny because like when the bios came out and you said to me, all right, who's going to win all the challenges? I was like, Zach's going to win like everything. And really, I mean, you were the one that dominated the competition. So were you athletic as a kid? Like where did this like inner fire come from?
Honestly, I was not athletic as a child. I was the choir girl, band girl. I was not athletic. But when you get in this house and you just see something that you want, you know not to quit, it just comes out of you. You just put your eye on the prize and keep going.
Now, the tough question, Brittnee, is this. I think the thing that people are going to say about Sarah's win is that she wouldn't have gotten there without that twist where Canada let you replace Ashley's nominations. Do you feel like that's a fair criticism, or do you feel like, she did win the veto that week, right? So what do you think about the twist, and how much do you feel like that influenced how far you and Sarah got in the game?
The twist was amazing. I absolutely love the twist. I feel like it absolutely helped us in the game, and to be able to replace Ashley's nominations was phenomenal. Helped me keep my game going. Now, as far as Sarah's, Sarah played a phenomenal game. She was very strong socially. What I lacked maybe in social skills or whatnot, she definitely compensated for that, and I kind of just hauled in competitions, and we balanced each other perfectly.
Is there any part of you that feels like you got your hands dirty and Sarah basically got to reap the rewards?
I don't feel like that. We play this game equally. We both tried to socialize with people and talk game, and we both put in just as much effort. I know there was a bigger target on my back, but there was a pretty big one on hers too.
How would the game have changed if Neha came back versus Cindy? Because I feel like, I've obviously talked to Neha a lot while the show was going on, and I was just like, man, out of all the people that got a bad deal, it's your girls that are at the end. It must be killing you. So how would that have changed things?
I think that I have no idea how it would have changed things. Neha is such a strong woman, and I know that she would have been a phenomenal player. She already was from what I saw. I wish she got the opportunity to come back in the house. It could have been, I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know. I don't know. It could have been magic.
Is there a place for twists? Because, I've really been thinking about twists this season of Big Brother, and I feel like, okay, now it's season 3. We know there are going to be twists. So I feel like there's 2 parts to the game. One part is the dynamics with the other house guests. The other part is you do need to play to Canada a little bit like Adele did last season. So is that an element of, like, what you were thinking about when you were in there? Like, I can't do this because maybe Canada won't like it, or did that not come into play and they just like what they saw?
I didn't. I just kind of went in and was myself and played the best game that I knew how to. That the fact that Canada loved it is so amazing. I don't know, you just go in, be yourself, play with your heart, and if it works out, then it works out. You kind of can't really think about the outside too much, although some days it does get to you.
Talk to me about the have-not experience, because I remember watching the feeds that night, and I literally thought one of you was going to push the button and leave, and then it was just like this euphoric joy. It was almost like, Cinderella gets her, like, ball gown in a sense. So what was that change of emotions like?
That twist literally brought me to my lowest point in the game. I was miserable. I thought the country hated us. I was second guessing my game, the things I said to people. Was I too sassy in the DR? Like, I don't know. And it was such a low point in my game, and honestly in my life. And then to see that safe come up and know that Canada had given us the opportunity to win that was the highlight of my Big Brother life, of life in general. It was amazing.
AJ is my best friend, and as you know, he's like the Pawn Star. He was up on the block so many times, and I always used to say to him, how could you deal with that? It would drive me crazy. And I asked the same question to you. Like, when you're on the block, there's always a chance you're going to go. So mentally, how do you prepare for that?
I don't know if you can mentally prepare. Luckily, I had Sarah in the house, so she kept me kind of emotionally stable. You just kind of have to just go with it. Go with the flow. Roll with the punches. One wrong word will get you sent home when you're sitting on the block. So you just have to play it up, play up your friend card, and hope for the best.
You went to the jury house with a mission to get votes for Sarah. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Like, did you just like go up and like choke Zach by the neck and say you're voting for Sarah, or like did you say to Bruno, forget about the fight, you're voting, or I'm going to just like slap you? Like, how did that all go down?
You know what? Jury house is not as intense as people think it is. You know, it's a lot more carefree, and you're not as stressed out. You are still playing the game, so it was a lot easier to talk to people without that big guard up with the game. You know, I didn't go right for him and say you're voting for Sarah, but we just discussed, you know, as people, as friends, as house guests, who was the better option, and I definitely made some pretty valid points about her.
And finally, how would you like Brittnee to be remembered in the Big Brother house?
I want Brittnee to be remembered as someone who just gave it her all, you know, brought everything she had to the house, to the game, to the competitions, played with no fear.
Are we going to see a gaudy showmance after the show? I mean, and yes, it took me a long time to come up with that.
That's amazing. You know, Godfrey and I are friends. He's still friend-zoned. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry,
So,
Godfrey.
you know, when you're a guy and a girl drops the F-bomb on you, it's over. Brittnee, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.